Well, the primary is over. Now it's on to November. But who took the brunt of the political bruising? Was it status quo for California? And what did we learn that local politics has become so nasty of a playground? Case in point, the race for State Assembly seat 27. Esmeralda Soria and Mike Carbasi, both council colleagues, have become bitter rivals as their political mailers are now the focus of a lawsuit. Plenty to talk about with our panel this week. One an analyst, the other a journalist. Sarith Hoke is here, political reporter with Valley Public Radio. We also have political analyst at the former Fresno County Superintendent of Schools as well, and the host of Powell to the People on 1550 KXEX, Larry Powell. Thank you both for being here.
Nice to be with you, Alex.
So, Sarith, I want to start with you because you've been covering a lot of the elections just like Larry has.
Yes.
And I'll say this. Today, Esmeralda Soria, I should say Thursday, Esmeralda Soria was served inside council chambers from Mike Carbasi's lawyer on this lawsuit that's happening. We saw the political mailers come out. This has gotten nasty. Is this typical politics or is this something more?
You know, I have not seen our council members go at it like this. And so it's, I think it's just the pressures of running for very competitive races and a lot that's been going on with COVID. So, you know, they're just dealing with a lot of issues.
You know, Larry, and the defamation lawsuit that Carbasi filed, the mailer that on one side insinuated he's a criminal that was put out by Soria's team, and the backside explaining his involvement with Brian Calhoun, who was convicted of that actual assault. Of course, Carbasi claims Soria plays to pay. And I'm wondering, as you're seeing this unfold, is this, again, do mailers even count? Do voters even
Mailers count to those that support you already.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you that 10% of the people are probably somewhat interested in what goes on a local level. 90% of them, it goes right over their head. They're more interested in the pothole. They're more interested in making sure they don't catch COVID. They're more interested in making sure they've got their jobs back again, that their kids are safe in school. That's where most of us live life. And so when council members go at each other, it does no favors for the community, because all it does is make us feel that they don't have their act together down at the council chambers. But I don't think it impacts the average person. I talked to some folks, they didn't even know it happened.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
They don't even know it
exactly.
happened.
Now, we should mention Soria is moving on against Payson in the Assembly seat 27, and Carbasi finished fourth when it came to voting. You know, a lot happened in the primary. What didn't happen, there was really no voter turnout here. And to me, I thought that was the most alarming thing, because we've been hearing about all these issues, and now in California, it's the easiest way to vote. I mean, basically, all we have to do is bubble it in, give it to our mailbox, and it's done. What was most alarming to you?
You know, yeah, seeing that low voter turnout was, you know, expected for a midterm primary, but also disheartening because we have so many issues going on right now. And so, yeah, seeing that, seeing the polling places kind of quiet, that was that was really alarming to me on Election Day.
Yeah, I mean, again, we haven't seen this kind of voter turnout, the Secretary of State said, in about 70 years. Yeah. Given the high rate of registered voters, we've had the most in the state.
I think we found out that absentee ballots or ballots being sent to your home do not have the impact they thought they would. They thought everybody will be voting now because it's so easy. Once again, where's the pothole? Is it being fixed? Well, what's going on in my life? Look at gas prices. Look at all of those kind of things. Plus, the other thing I think it's really important to remember is if 10% of the people decide what's going to happen, so 20% turnout, that means 10% plus one vote elects somebody to an office. It was the prime time for somebody who was not well known to get elected to a position.
Right.
Absolutely crazy when you think about 1 out of 10 voters determine who our representative is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. And, you know, we did learn some races were decided. Fresno County Sheriff with John Zanoni, Fresno City Council District 1 seat, Annalisa Perea out of the 4 candidates. Was that a big surprise?
Yeah, I talked to some political analysts from Fresno State, Professors Tom Holyoke and Lisa Bryant, and they both said that they were surprised by how far ahead she shot. They thought, it may have been Kerry Catalano would have been closer. So I think we were all a little shocked that he, fell that far behind, and that she, I think it was just her name recognition, And
Name recognition.
Yeah, what happens is really simply this. The Perea name in a localized election does real well. When it gets to a citywide, it does not. So when you look at Fresno High or the mid part of town, Perea does a good job. And you know what? She's sharp. She's a sharp young lady. She got more votes than any of the candidates in any of the races for city council.
Well, District 1 actually came out to vote a little bit more than the other districts, right? We have a couple minutes left here. I want to get to what we saw with the FTA president and the district superintendent, Bob Nelson, where it comes to school safety.
Can I mention one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
We've got Michelle Cantwell-Cofer, the new county superintendent of schools.
That's true. That's true.
And first female. And she has her doctorate. She's a bright young lady. I'll tell you what, we're in good hands for the next 4 years.
That's right. And, we saw, and that was a landslide as well.
It was, 65%.
All right, so Fresno Unified School Safety here, obviously we've seen a lot of mass shootings happening, Uvalde. It's just so heartbreaking. And we saw the situation with Pyle Elementary, and you heard the superintendent and the FTA president. Do you think Fresno Unified is subject to something really bad happening, with safety protocols not really being addressed and being transparent, maybe, as the FTA president would like to see it?
Yeah, I actually spoke to Manuel Bonilla about this issue and got some feedback from the district as well. And basically, FTA's position is that teachers just feel kind of like they're left on their own. They feel like they don't have anybody who can respond to their concerns in an adequate way. Yeah, they kind of feel like they're left to fend for themselves and there's no plan. That's kind of what I kept hearing over and over again. But Fresno Unified has come back with, hey, these are the lists of things that we're doing. So until I guess we see it actually being implemented, right now it feels like it's talk.
Larry, real quick, I got to punctuate it.
School board's responsible for this because they're the ones that control the budget. And so you've got to do something about that. We need a policeman on every campus. We need one entry point, one exit point, and stop the silliness of open campuses. As much as I like having an open campus, I don't want my kid getting hurt. I don't want any other kid getting hurt either.
Elementary school as well?
Elementary school as well.
Okay.
That's where this craziness in Texas happened.
Larry Powell, Sarith Hoke, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate the time.